All right, so I got a couple cool things planned for the most part right now, though. We're going to build a little short marble. And hopefully get something kind of cool going. Just a late shift. This is not my normal scheduled time, but hey, let's have some fun tonight. And there goes Fritz. It's not a stream without Fritz barking. All right, so we're going to create a little, kind of cool little marble. I'm going to do a very basic one. Very close to like what I would call a... Actually, you know what? I got another marble mold. I can do that. Let's grab the backup mold. There we go. Now we're good to go. All right, let's begin. So here we are. We're just kind of having some fun. Tonight's very chill. Going to be a lot of studio sounds tonight. Going to burn this off about a third of the way down. There we go. So tonight is a late stream, and I'm just kind of letting the studio sounds kind of take over for tonight. I'll be chiming in from here and there every once in a while, but it's going to be a little different tempo tonight. Just kind of chilling. So we're going to start off with an awesome little marble. This is it's what I call a classic marble. Nothing super organic about it. Thank you for the sparkles. Christy, thank you for the heart me in the night. I think it's night. I can't remember what the name of that nightshade. Thank you, Christy. All right, so we just got this little tiny chunk of glass here. It's about 3/4 of an inch round, 17 millimeters. We're going to stripe down it, and we're just going to create a very organic marble. We're going to throw in some colors that that I really like. We're going to start with a sparkly black. Go. All right. So we got some wonderful little black stripes running around. This black is kind of cool because it has these like little diamond sparkle effects to it. So I like that look. It's very subtle, but it works really well. And then I have this candy apple red color. I don't know if you'll be able to get a glimpse of that red, but think of candy apple red. I'm going to fill in that gap. We're going to go to the other side and start the process over here. Okay, we got that one all done. So you can see here we got full color all the way there, and we got a little gap of clear in between. And I've got just a little bit of this white here. And we're going to do one stripe of white in between that clear. I got to put a little extension on here so I can get it on there effectively. I want to leave a little bit of that clear showing. So we get some transparency through this marble. Then after this, I think we're prepped up enough in the kiln. I got a really cool project scheduled for you guys. So we just added that extension. So we're going to come out here and we're going to add a little white stripe in between these clear sections. There we go. All right, I think we're good. So I kind of wanted to do this marble. It reminds me of one of my school colors that I had, which was black, white, and red. I love that combination. So we're going to be doing that in this marble. Get it straightened out. I love black, white, and red. I'm kind of impartial to it. How are you doing, Christy? Donna, how are you doing? Chris, what's going on? Good evening to the mods that keep the chat very safe. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. We're on a late night stream. This isn't high intensity. I'm not going to be like bouncing around. We're just kind of having some fun tonight. This is like a chilled, relaxed stream. we're just going to kind of go a little relaxed. I don't have really anything on schedule. We're just going to kind of play it by ear. If you guys have anything in the queue that you would like to see made, go ahead and type it in the chat if there's something you want to see made, and we'll see if we can get to it. There's absolutely no predetermined stream guideline for it. None whatsoever. Okay, here we go. So we got that little, I brought all the color up to the front and center here. Oh, no, the white's not there. See how the white didn't join right there? It's not quite all the way. I got to pull that down a little bit further. I want that white converging to the very tip. There we go. That's a lot better. So now we got the white kind of tipping all the way up to the very front. You can see it just kind of reaching the tip now. I'm going to go ahead and put a little holding rod on there now. I'm going to do the other side, make the other side converge to the same way. And there we go. So we're just going to pull this color down a little bit and get it all to join up together right at the very tip of this little torpedo-looking piece of glass. We're actually going to pull the flame down a little. I want to take this off. I need that in just a little bit. So we grab what I call a wiping rod. Sounds exactly like what it is. You wipe off the excess glass you don't need. Not the best term for it, but it's the only one I know. And there we go. And I think we're all good here. So right now the whole point of this is to have, we got 3 different colors bouncing through here. I'm going to bring the flashlight over, show you what we got going on, and then we're going to form it up. So hopefully you get a little glimpse of the color. You can see that red, the black, the white, the red, black, and white. That red is very shimmery, like a candy apple red. So we're just going to bring it in. Oh, that's a little bit short. There's the one I want. Okay, what's going to happen here is we're just going to pull this a little bit longer. Then I'm going to start compressing it back to a marble. As I do that, I'm going to swing the rotation back and forth. We're going to create a little bit of a zigzag in the actual marble. So we just have to heat it all the way up. And we're going to stretch it way out on 2 ends. We're going to leave the middle a little bit bulky. Okay, so we got it heated up right here. I'm going to bring it out. We're going to stretch it very slow, nice and easy. So I'll bring it out in front of the camera and we're going to pull it down. Like that. Let it cool off a little. And we're going to do the same thing to the other side. And I'm going to leave a little bit of room in that middle, keep it kind of bulked up. There should be just a little tiny bump in the middle of this when I get done. Here we go. So we're going to start the stretch now. Pull it down like that. So now we got all this color bouncing all the way through here. So we're going to start up here and we're just going to kind of go back and forth, compressing it back together, and it should create a little bit of a zigzag pattern. So we're going to start that now. So there's my first twist. Like that. There are two methods to do this too. We can use a wide flame and get a little bit wider path on here, or we can use a thin flame and kind of get it a little thinner. Tonight I want to use the wider flame. So I'm going to heat it up here and we're going to twist the opposite direction. Let me get a couple of these twists in here and I'll bring it close up to the camera so you can see what I'm doing. So we're going to come back over here and do another one this direction. There we go. And we're going to go the opposite direction again. There we go. Creating that nice little pattern there. We're going to be doing, this is a pretty simple little marble we're doing right off. And then I've got a really cool little project planned in here. And one more little back and forth pattern right here, and I'll show you where we're at so far. Got to switch sides so I can get it so it doesn't fall too bad, but you can see the patterning now is kind of going back and forth versus the straight lines right there. So this pattern is technically called a wigwag, and that is the wigwag part, and then we still have to get this section built the same way. going to go ahead and start that now. And then I'll compress this whole thing into a marble. Now the cool part about this pattern is as I start pushing it into the full marble form, those back and forth patterns, the wigwag itself, will actually compress tighter. So all those lines that look like they're very far apart will compress down, and it'll look like I drew these tiny little lines in there. Happy little lines, and created this pinstripe of color. When in reality, we just start small, start big, and shrink it down. We got two more little patterns on here, and then we're going to start compressing it into the marble. And last little bit right here. We're going to have to use the small flame for it. We're going to pull that little bit off. And there we go. And I'll try and bring this over so you guys can see it effectively. And there's our little patterning happening going on right there. There we go. So you can see that coppery red color coming through. So from here, we're going to actually shrink it down into a full-blown marble. And then these patterns are just going to compress in and make it look like tiny little patterns. Let's go ahead and do that now. And I will show you the Boro Vision here. This is what my glasses are made of. And you can see here, we're just filtering out all the excess light. There we go. And that's how it looks for me with my glasses on. All right, let's go ahead and get this guy compressed down. This is the hardest part right here, keeping it as centered as possible while letting it shrink down. Think of trying to spin peanut butter on a glass rod and trying to keep it straight. It's about like that. Actually, honey is more appropriate. About the consistency of honey when it's actually hot. It's really a cool effect. Oh. I'm going to go about halfway, then I'll bring it out for you guys to see how tight the lines get when you shrink it down versus the one that's not shrunk right now. There we go. So we're going to bring it out, let this cool off for a second, and hopefully we get a little patterning showing up. We'll try and keep it centered up here so you can see the effect. And there's our side pattern. I'll bring the flashlight over and we'll give you a close-up view of it with some light. So there's the back pattern. And then there's the top pattern. You can see it's much, much tighter up there. And this is the pattern before that. Alright, so we're going to grab another holding rod here. And we're going to do the same thing to the other side. We're going to let it shrink down. Nice and chill. So we're going to bring this one down to meet the bigger bubble. And we should have a pretty cool little marble. Let's take the flame down so I can tighten the swirl up at the end here. There we go. There we are. So there's our tighter pattern and our loose one right there. And we're just going to bring it down and shrink it all up. Here we go. And we'll use the filter one more time so you guys can see the filtering system here. There we go. Bring this flame down a little bit so you can definitely see the pattern. That's with filter and that's without. Covers it up just a little bit. There we go. And here we are. So you can see we're shrinking it down now. Much closer, and we just have to join the two together now. Super easy, very nice, nice and clean. This is not a fast process. Almost there though. We're just about completed on that part. Start using the marble mold here. Get it all centered back up. You just have to fill in that gap now. There's a little bit of a gap in the middle. And I just have to put another rod to this end. We'll start heating it back up and they will join together. The attachment has to be really small right there. You don't want to distort the rest of the marble now. You're going to take it down and trim off a little bit of that clear. So we keep all the color converged right there. And there we are. There we are. Look at that. Let me bring the light over because this is really going to start to show that pattern. Hopefully you guys get a little glimpse of it right there. As I spin it around, they're kind of going back and forth, leveled down. Let's go ahead and finish this up, and then the next project I have preloaded in the kiln. We're going to put it together after this. And if the roses up here are any indication, it will involve roses. We're going to build a little flower project. And it's going to be very cool. We're kind of hot. All right, we're almost there. Let's go ahead and get this finished up now. There, just a little bit more. We're going to go to a smaller mold here. So the marble should never fit into the hole of the marble mold. It should ride around the top portion of that half circle, and that's what gets it really round. There we go, a little bit more. This would be considered a contemporary marble, not in the traditional sense, like a cat's eye marble. More of a, like I said, contemporary version. Even though Pyrex has been around for a very long time, which is similar to the glass that I'm using. It's called borosilicate. They didn't do a whole lot of marbles out of this with Pyrex back in the day. It was mostly used for laboratory equipment back in the day. I don't think the modern style of a Pyrex marble was probably not until the 50s or so. There we are. We got a nice little round part happening here. We're going to go to a smaller mold right here. And it should spin very, very freely now. Just going to heat it up, make sure we take out any wrinkles, keep our happy little lines in there. Kind of in a Bob Ross mood tonight, so we're going to do happy little stuff. Love me some Bob Ross. All right, this marble is finished on this side. So this portion's done. I just have a little bit of work over here and we'll be completely done. And I should be able to show you the front pattern now. So hopefully you get a little glimpse of that little swirl up in the front. And There's our side pattern running across that way. There's our front. All right, one last little manipulation of it, and this marble will be completed. And it is black, a sparkly black, a candy apple red, and white. So we just have to trim that, make sure it's nice and smooth, and then we'll pull the marble off. If you've never seen it, a marble being removed from a glass rod, if you're curious how you do that, we're about to get there in the next 2 or 3 minutes max. There we go. So now I just have to get this tiny little bump out of it. There's a little tiny bump right at the tip. And we're just going to go ahead and work it out. Just very smooth, very simple. Make some keychains. I do have keychains. You can go to my website and I have little keychains. Well, they're more like a charm, but they can be used for a keychain, a purse hanger, all kinds of stuff. All right, let's go ahead and get this all finished up here. Oh, that looks good. Here we are. We're all completed. Now let me show you before we pull the marble off. You can see that swirl kind of bouncing in there. There's our swirl at the very front. I left a little bit of clear in there for the transparency of the marble so you can see it from the back end. It looks really cool. I'm going to grab Dragonfly Creations marble holders here. And this is how you remove the marble from a glass rod. And then once I have this sealed off, I can show you very close what it looks like. I'm going to show you this hot spot first. This is called a hot shot. One more time. Okay, we're going to bring it up here. And I think we're looking good. We're going to bring the light out one more time. Oops, that's a laser. There we go. So now you can see that patterning on there. There's our little spiral sitting at the end. This one is completed. Okay. So the next project is a 50-50. It may break. There's a 50-50 chance it could break. I need some water before we begin that. And we should probably put on some gloves because it's a little scary what I'm going to do. And this is going to be a cool project. Okay. So we're going to take flower number 1 here. We got a beautiful little flower. It's cobalt blue and silver fume like this. And it kind of turns a greenish blue color. We're going to put a little attachment right to the very tip of it. like that. And we're going to burn it off right there. We're going to actually remove the stem. I have to be really careful here. If I bump this just even a little bit, the flower will fall off. That's why I have these up here as backups. This guy's barely hanging on there. So we just removed the back half of it, so it's no longer a stemmed rose or flower. And we're going to come through, we're going to do one more of those in a different color. Same method. This is the gold fume version of it. So that color right there is created with pure gold. That's why it has that gold sheen to it. It's called a process called fuming. And fuming allows the color to be kind of like a pinkish color, pinkish rose gold color. Okay, we're going to go ahead and attach it same way up here. We're going to remove the back end here, and then we'll start the project. Now the project I have slated here is going to take about 5 to 6 flowers. Right now I only have 2 of them ready with the back end removed. So we'll have to repeat this process a couple different times. But you'll start to see the project once I pull this one off and I grab the main piece, and you'll see what I'm doing. You want to remove a good portion of that. Keep that sealed up right there. I didn't even notice that before. And there's the back end of the flower. So you can see it's totally looking different from front to back. We're going to pop that right into the kiln here. Kind of. There we go. Let me warm up this tool and we will start the process. Ordinary salad tongs, just like salad tongs. We have to get them red hot, like that. We have this big old mug that I used last night, one of the versions of this. And I need to attach a holding rod to it, which we're going to do right now. Uh-oh. That's not good. My holding rod actually cracked, and I just had to seal that crack up. So I had this little Dicro nub put on it, but I didn't like that. It doesn't look like anything I really want. So we got to go ahead and remove that little marble there. And this could either crack it or it'll work. I'm going to pull this flame way down. Sorry about the noise. Leave that off to the side. I may use that later. So basically we removed that. Now we have an open stem there. We're going to go ahead and fix that up real quick. Seal that up just a little bit. We are. Do the same thing to this other side. All right. Grab a little carbon tool here and shape it. Got a little bit more to add. 1 second. There we are. A little bit over here. Okay, we're going to grab some green, some transparent green here. We're going to add it in. There. And add a little green to the other side here. So we got a little nubby green right there. We're going to grab our first flower and pop it on. Not that fast. So we'll have a nice little green background to it. I'm going to let that settle just a little bit. We'll come in here and infuse that in there really good. And just a little polishing right there. I'm going to go ahead and remove this top stem here. So the goal will be to put several flowers on here. So we're going to start there, like from the top, and we're going to build flowers around the whole thing. All right, so there's our first start right there. So we got that one flower added to the big old coffee mug here. I'm going to pop that in the kiln for the moment. I'm going to remove another flower from its stem. And let that cup heat up. So this one is going to go directly to the front. So we're going to remove this here. We're going to pop it up here. We're going to remove this flower. So this one's going to go to the very front of that goblet there. Not goblet, but coffee mug. Now this isn't going to be dishwasher safe. You can't throw this in the dishwasher and expect it to live. So you're going to have to hand wash this guy. And we're going to remove this section here. So I can go ahead and fuse that on there. And there's always a chance that the little rod I just put on will break and this flower will fall. And that's why I have the backup flowers right in front of you. I want to make sure I have enough just in case we have a problem. We're going to go ahead and remove this. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to add a little green to the background here. So it has a little bit of a green color underneath. Go ahead and get that fused in there. As I said, there's a 50-50 chance these little flowers can fall off, but you can see the beautiful color right there. I'll try and bring the light up. I probably should have shown you that before I tore it off the back end, but you can see that beautiful color right there. It's kind of like a jewel tone turquoise. Let's go ahead and grab our mug. Now we got 2 flowers on there. This is going to be filled with flowers all over the place. It's going to be obnoxious, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and remove this one. This is a very cool color. I'll bring it out. This is very magical. You can see all those This is a totally unique color in here. It has like a rainbow effect of colors. It's called amber purple because you get these kind of purpley blues, but from the back end it goes very amber. See how we got that amber effect? And then the purple. So that's why it has that name, amber purple. Same thing here. We're going to go ahead and attach and remove this section. We're going to add a little green to the back of this one as well. And then we'll fuse it on the mug. Actually, I should get the other one pulled first, and then I can build them all at once. There's our green. Okay, stay on there. Here we go. We're going to pop this little bit of green on here. A nice little background. And there's our little nub all sectioned off in green, so that when I attach it, it just has a hint of green to it. This is another gold fumed version, so this is a golden fumy process. And it is made with pure gold. This one will definitely have some shiny gold effects to it. So that is done with pure gold. And it's vaporized into the glass, and from the back end you can kind of see it goes a little rose purple. Oh, I got to do my TikTok capture real quick. There we go, got it first try. I don't know if I got that on all the way. We're going to find out. We're going to pull this one off, add a little green to it, and we'll start adding the flowers to the mug itself. Let's go ahead and add our green. Go. We're looking good. We're popping a little bit of this lime green on here. Give it a little bit of a background. Now, I don't think this mug is going to be super viable to drink out of. You probably could. But my vision for this is to use it as a plant. So put some dirt in there and make like little mint leaves or something grow out of it. I thought that would be kind of cool, like a little mini garden growing out of it. Not necessarily to drink out of, but like a little potted garden. Any type of vegetable or herb that you want to pop in there. And there's our little button of green. We're going to go ahead and grab the mug again. Carefully. I'm going to find a nice spot. Right there. Yep, right there. There's flower number 3 on there, so we're starting to get some decorations on it. I'm going to grab the next one and we're going to pop that one on as well. That amber purple color. So now we got multiple flowers running all over it. And I got one more already built in there. But I want to have 2 more flowers to add on for sure. So I got to grab one of these roses. We're going to preheat it. I think we're going to use, no, probably not that one. I don't know if we'll do that one. What do you guys think? I'm going to give you a choice. Let me see here. That one's a little shinier. Which one? The ambery color or the blue? I'm going to shine the light on it. I'll let you guys vote. So there's the amber color. There's the blue with gold. So there's the amber, blue with gold. As close as I can get. So I'll let you guys blue or the amber color. I'm going to preheat both of them. Blue with gold. Yeah, a lot of people saying blue. That's kind of cool. So while those are heating up, we're going to create a couple leaves to add on to it too. So we're gonna create some leaves. While we're waiting for that. And we're going to start that process real quick. So while it's heating up, we'll go ahead and make the leaves. I'm going to make them in various sizes so we can attach them. That one's the same color. What'd you guys decide on? Blue? I think blue got the vote there. All right, let's go ahead and start leaf number 1. But my idea for this was to have it actually turn into, like I said, a plant. I was thinking something like mint leaves or parsley or whatever herb you want to put in there. That's about the only herbs I could mention, I think. You could even probably grow a little chili pepper in there or something. We're going to go ahead and build a little bit of a ball here. Nice and easy. There we go. Don't need this marble mold anymore. We're going to pop that off to the side. We're going to park our leaves right here. And this is my leaf maker. It has a little pattern in it inside these plates. Over and smash down nice and easy. I don't want it super thin. And it creates this little patterning onto it. You can see that little bit of a pattern. And we're going to pull it into a little stem type leaf. Go. We got one done. So I added a little curve to it, give it a little character. I'm not going to put any ridges on the side. I want it very smooth on this one. And then we just knock it off like that. Now the next leaf I'm going to do, we're going to change it up a little bit size-wise and the way it looks. I'm going to give this leaf a little bit of a twist to it. So instead of straight that way, like flat, we're going to kind of curve it, twist it a little. All right, here we go. We're going to build the next one. Alright, got a little bit green, a little bit more. So we got our little ball. We're going to take our leaf maker and give it a happy little smash. So I left this one a little elongated. You still have that pattern running in it, but I left it a little longer. And we're going to go ahead and pull it down. Give it a little bit of a twist. Like that. So now we just added a little bit of a twist to it, gave it a little bit of character. Pop that one off. And we're going to change greens real quick. We're going to go a couple different variations of green in here. Oh, we got our dark green right here. This is like a dark forest green. I like this one. I'm going to make 2 of these, and then we'll remove the flower from the stems, and we'll add the next set of flowers onto that coffee mug or plant, pot, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to go ahead and attach this here and create 2 more out of 2 different separate color. Now this one I'm going to make a little smaller. I'm going to vary the size a little bit. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and flatten that out. We'll make 1 more, and then we'll pop the flowers off the stems and add them to the mug. And this is just a much darker green that we're going to be popping in there. Welcome from Milwaukee, Oregon. Welcome in. Give this one a nice little bend. I'm going to go ahead and separate that one. And now you can definitely see how I curved it all around there. Thank you for sending the jewels. I appreciate it. All right, let's go ahead and do 1 more of these greens in the small with the dark. And then we'll pull the flowers off the stems and add the other 2 flowers on there. And then we'll start looking for placement of the leaves. Oh my God, thank you for the corgi. I love that. Thank you, Lynn. All right, here we go. And a little more heat. Let's eat it. Little 4,000 degree ambient sound. And there we go. One more time with the leaf maker. I want to make this one a little bit longer like the other one was long. Maybe we'll give it a little twist too. We've got a little curve to it. Kind of just having fun tonight. Thank you guys for hanging with me. I'm having a good time right now. I'm just relaxed. All right, there's our little curvature of a green. This is a very dark green, kind of like a forest green. Okay, we got that done. Let's go ahead and get the stems off the next two flowers. We'll park them onto the mug pot, flower pot, whatever you want to call it. Get rid of this little chunk here. Okay, I need a nice little attachment rod here. Can't be too thick, it has to be just about the right size. There we go. Thank you, Lynn, for becoming a title gifter. I appreciate it, Lynn. And there we go. Let's grab our next flower. And this is that real ambery color right here. So you can definitely see the colors are bouncing through there. It's kind of like a tie-dye effect, and there's the amber from the back end. Okay, here we go. We're going to go ahead and attach a little holding rod here. And I just want to remove the stem. And I should have a little bit more of that lime green up here. Ooh, not much of it. That's okay. Don't need a whole lot. We're going to add a little button of green to the back of this. So again, every single flower will have a little bit of green behind it. Give it a semi-organic look. Now, from the top of the flower, you won't see the green too much. But when you're looking at the mug from the opposite side, you'll see the green. That's why I want to add it in. You really won't see it from the front, like looking at the flower this way, but you will see it from the back end, behind it. So I'm looking at the transparent version of that. Got a little spot here I definitely want to fix up. Hold on one second. go. I saw a tiny little gap where it wasn't completely sealed. So we got our little button right there of green. And we have one more flower to do that with, and then we'll start the final assembly with the flowers. And here we go, we got a perfect folding rod. There we go, pop that off. We're looking good. We'll separate it there, put a little green on that back end, and then we'll start the final assembly of all that. This is pretty thick right here. This is going to take a second. And then we'll add a few leaves on there. I don't know how many leaves we're going to put on. We'll get to that after we get all the flowers built. Definitely a bigger project than I anticipated, but it's okay. Part of the fun. I'm just going to stick this on here. Get our little green button on here. All right, we got a little bit of our green added on. Got our little button right there. Let's get the gloves back on. I always use golfing gloves. They have the most tactile feel for being able to grip the glass. You have a little bit of feel through it. Really, really thick gloves, you can't feel the glass at all, and it has a very big potential of slipping out of your hand. So I use golfing gloves, a little bit of water. I've become a fan of cucumber and mint. All right, so here we go. We're going to assemble the other flowers on. Very careful. This is going to be a little tricky here. Now this one's going to be a little tricky to do. I'm going to have to do it this way. Like that at all. That is not funny. So we got just a couple flowers running around. So this should be like a little flower pot mug when we get all done. We got one more to add on. Oh, this thing's getting heavy. So yeah, we got little flowers running over the whole thing right now. I'm going to park that back in the kiln, let it warm up. We're going to make a few more leaves and we'll start adding leaves on it. That's definitely heavy. So we're going to make a couple more leaves. Did you make the teapot as well? No, I didn't make any teapots. That's just a little, but I want it to be a flower pot, to be honest, for like mini veggies or something. So we're going to use a very light, I call this seafoam. It's kind of like a seafoam green. We're going to make a couple flowers out of that as well. Hopefully that didn't get in my hair and catch on fire. If you guys see my hair catching on fire, let me know. I don't want to be Michael Jackson. Uh-oh. That did not sound good. So we're going to make a couple of little leaves out of this seafoam green and see what we get. I'm hoping we get some kind of cool colors bouncing through here. All right, let's go ahead and make a couple of leaves. We got dark green, we got lime green, and then we'll do some seafoam. go. We're going to go ahead and start building up a little bulbous end here. All right, we got that part done. We're going to grab our leaf maker and give it a little flattening. Just a little squishy squishy. I'm going to give this one a really big curve. And a small twist. Like that. So it's going to look kind of blue right now. This color looks very bluish while it's hot. And it'll come back down and it'll get back into that seafoam color in just a little bit. Go ahead and pop that off, hopefully. That rod broke before that. Okay. I guess the leaf is pretty solid. Okay, we got one more of that seafoam to make. Let's go ahead and do that now. We are looking really good. I should have enough on here. Drippy, drippy. That's where gravity wins every time. We're going to go ahead and flatten this into a leaf. So this is what the leaf looks like before we do anything to it. We've got a little bit of ridges to it, a little patterning to it. And it's just a flat lollipop looking thing. I'll pull this little nub off here. And we're going to go ahead and pull this one down. Can't heat it where those little ridges are, though. If you hit the flame where those ridges are, the pattern just completely disappears. It melts it out. There we go. So you can only heat it on one side. And now we got just another curved leaf like that, just a different pattern to it. Oh, that one finally broke off. Alright, so we are ready for assembly. I'll pick these leaves up with a little glass rod and we'll pop them on one at a time. I think I heard the pot, the little mug crack, which if it did, I'll have to use a micro torch to fix it, but that's part of the process. That happens more than you know. Let's get the gloves back on and go from there. And here we go. Okay. So we're going to tighten this flame up a little. And we're going to use this one for my heating if I need it. Okay. Oh yeah, we got a big old chunky crack in there. That's okay. We'll fix it up. Not a problem. Oh man, that cracked went everywhere. That's all right. So there is a gigantic crack in here, but I'll be able to fix it up. But now you can see we're adding a few little leaves on it. And this is just going to be a cool little planter. Now when I go to fix the crack, I'm going to have to use this little micro torch. Work that in there a little bit more. I got to let it warm up a little. So that's what I have this little guy for. This is a little jeweler's torch. I'll be able to go on the inside of the mug and kind of heat it up and fix it up on that way. So when the whole thing's done, I'll set it on this plate, warm the plate up really well, set it down, and then I can go and hit it from the inside, fixing all that up. But for right now, I got to let it heat up a tiny bit. And we're going to get these guys all set and ready. I'm going to give it just a minute. I should probably make one little backup. No, I won't do that right now. I'm going to assemble these uranium rods while it's heating. So this is uranium glass. Has a very cool green to it. You can see it under black light. It just has this beautiful green under black light, but even under natural light, it's really pretty. It's one of my favorite colors to work with. The only drawback to this is the cost. The stuff, I haven't checked recently, but when I bought it, it was $150 a pound. And a friend of mine told me that they bumped the price up to $180, which is a lot. That's a big jump. And it was already expensive. So jumping it up to $180 a pound, that's a lot of money. That's getting into serious territory for cost. That's a lot of money. Yeah, different colored glass. Yeah, different colored glass creates different colors. Obviously, that was stupid of me to say. So what makes color are metal oxides. So cobalt oxide makes, I don't know what the hell that is. Cobalt oxide makes cobalt. Chromium oxide makes green. Silver, pure silver, makes this caramel color here. I'll explain a little bit while I'm waiting for that to heat up. So this color right here is made off of silver. You can see that really dark end. That's what it turns out like, not like this color right here. In fact, I'll make a little disc of it. And then gold makes your pinks and your cranberry reds, a lot of gold, and some transparent purples. Like this purple right here has a lot of gold in it. It may not look like it, but yeah, there's a lot of gold in that color. Now that I could see jumping up in price because of the cost of gold, obviously. In fact, we'll make a tiny little leaf out of this. That'll be a better distinction while that's heating up. So yeah, gold is very expensive. And then you got germanium, selenium, cadmium. Cadmium makes crayon colors like a yellow, orange, and red. They look like crayons. And then uranium makes uranium glass. And some of the other colors, I'm not going to reveal the exact composition because my friend owns the color company and I don't want to kind of wreck the formula for him. Now I created a glow-in-the-dark glass that actually truly glows in the dark. That is my formula. Make this little leaf here. And we're going to go ahead and take this leaf off. I'll make it into a tiny little necklace. Sometimes I take little projects like this, and when people order from the website, I go in and I throw little things like this in there as a bonus. You know, just little fun little projects, and I just throw them in there. Not all the time, but if I have them, I do include them. It's not a guarantee. Let me go ahead and flatten this out. There we go. We're going to go ahead and heat this up. And we're going to create a little loop so you could wear this as a necklace or a keychain or whatever you want. This would actually work as a keychain. It's pretty strong. The leaf is one of the strongest items that you can do. We're going to go ahead and loop it down. Then we got to use a little rounding tool to kind of make the loop really nice. So we just created a little loop off there. You can see it's all the way through. Then we got this little pattern. Remember that caramel color that I showed you before? So this is the caramel. It's actually called butterscotch, and it turns to this color when you heat it up. Now I'm going to shine a little light on there, and you're going to see lots of color bouncing through it at that point. And there we go. So it kind of creates this butterscotch caramel looking color. It's really beautiful. This is like one of my favorite too. I like earth tones. Like, I'm a big fan of earth tones. Then we just take it here and we pop it off. Make sure it's not too sharp in case you want to wear it. Round it off, and then you got just a simple little pendant that you can wear. It's ultra light. If you wear this, you won't even feel it. I mean, you won't feel it like wearing it. The chain will definitely be a lot heavier than the pendant itself. But now you can see those colors bouncing in there. Kind of has like a orangey red, brownish color. Okay, we're going to go ahead and finish the rest of the 3 leaves on the project. I'm a little nervous about it because it's right at that stage where I'm a little bit nervous it's going to shatter on me. What color am I? Okay, I'm missing that color. We got one there. Got to get a good grip on this. No. Oh, that's going to be a problem. There we go. And then one right there, and I think we're done. This guy. This is heavy as hell right now. I'm shaking, it's so damn heavy. All right, that's about as far as I can go with this guy right now. It's definitely got a big old crack in it, but this should be a nice little flower pot when it's all done. Just lots of little roses, some leaves running around. I'll fix it up probably tomorrow. We're going to let it really soak in the kiln. But that one will be cool. We're going to take that little mini torch, pop it on here, preheat this a lot, and then I can just fix it from the inside out. The mug will not glow with the black light. I don't have any black light glass in there. No, there's no black light reactive glass in there. I didn't want to chance, because the blacklight reactive glass is so expensive, I didn't want to chance it breaking and then having that much money invested in uranium glass or something in there and then having it break. That probably, without uranium glass, that probably has $80 or $90 worth of glass, including the mug in there, just by itself. So if I added uranium glass or UV reactive, we would be looking at easy 200 in total cost, just raw cost. And for something that I haven't done before, I didn't want to chance that. This is actually a really cool piece of glass right here. So this is uranium glass, pre-1940s, so it's about 1940 or earlier. And this is original Pyrex. Let me turn this flame down a little. So this is original Pyrex, and it is uranium glass. And now I'll turn on the black light. You can see it just glowing like that. Now watch the end of the tube. I don't know if I can get it to glow for you guys. There. So you can see the end. It just kind of glows all the way through. I don't know if we can get it this way too. But look at that. It's just freaking cool glass. But this is really pre-World War II. And then when they started making nuclear bombs and the Manhattan Project, this glass was actually banned, outlawed. So they didn't make any more. And they didn't make any more of this until, when did Illuminati come out? Like 2016, somewhere around there. So from 1940s, early 40s to 2016, this glass wasn't made. Nobody made it. So it was on very, very short supply. All right, I got to pull the top of this off. So this is going to shatter, and you're going to see me hold this here. Maybe it'll shatter. Yep, there it goes. And we're going to turn this to a solid rod real quick. I got a lot of this tubing left. Luckily, I do have a good amount of this tubing. I bought out a studio, that was about 4 years ago. And he sold me all the uranium glass. I was like so shocked. I was like blown away by it that he had that much. And I jumped on it. I bought it all. He was selling it 1 pound at a time, and I bought all 28 pounds of it. Because you didn't have an opportunity to buy it again. All right, we're going to take this little bit here. So this is uranium on the end of this glass rod here. I'm going to make another leaf pendant. And these are like this will even go into the bonus of bonus glass that I include with like orders. We're going to mix it with a little lime green, give it a little punch of color. And I'm thinking of putting a little bit of black in here too. Give it a little striation. And we'll mix it in. and we'll turn it to a little leaf pendant. And these are the little guys that I throw into orders. So we're going to mix it in a little bit more. Let's kick it up a notch. There we go. Got a little dark green in there. So let's put a little black in here. We'll stripe it. And then we'll mix it, and I'll turn it to a little larger leaf. Just going to put a little stripe there and stripe there. I'm going to grab a little clear rod here. We're going to grab it. So I've got a little stripe here and a little stripe there. Sorry, I forgot to drink water again. And we're going to mix it up just by twisting it. I need to tear this end off. We'll remove all the clear and just leave the uranium and the lime green and the black. We'll make this leaf a little different too. I'll put little serrated edges on it. We'll go a little bit more detailed on this one because it does have the uranium. So tomorrow for the live stream, I think we're going to make air jaws. So we're going to make the shark breaching the water. Which will be kind of cool. Hopefully you can catch these striations running in there. Let me heat it up one more time. You can see all the little patterning in there. So yeah, I think we'll do air jaws tomorrow. Oh no, I have a better shark we're doing tomorrow. We're going to do the sawtooth shark. The shark that has the big nose with the saw blade on it. We're making that one tomorrow for live stream. We're going to do the sawtooth. So we're going to pull this down into a leafy shape. It's very close to the guitar picks that we did a couple weeks ago. We're going to give it a small curve. Yeah, it's very close to the guitar picks. All right, here we go. I'm going to try and give you some colors here. Now you can kind of see that black running in there, and we got the uranium green. There's the backside, give you a little better perspective. So we just got little stripes running through it and through the green. Let me turn this off. So you can definitely see the uranium bouncing through it now. It's a pretty color combo. So I'm going to grab my handy dandy Spyderco knife and we're going to carve in the edges. Now these won't be sharp at all. They just add a little texture to the leaf. So I'm hoping you can kind of get a little glimpse of the serrated edge right there, and then there's the rounded edge. So we got a little pattern in. Let me get the other side built. I'll shine the light on it. You'll definitely see it there. There we go. So now we got serrated edge all the way around. And I just think it adds a little character to it. You can kind of see those little edges on there now. Just kind of bouncing through there. I think it adds a little character to it. It's a smooth little touch that just to me makes a difference. We're going to go ahead and attach a little holding rod here. We're going to burn this off here and put a loop on it. I think I'm going to do it out of black. I don't think clear would be the one that I would want to use on this. I'm going to go ahead and remove all the clear. There we go. Let's grab some black and we'll make a little loop on it. Let's be a little creative. We'll put a little leaf pattern on the bail to the loop. We'll make it a little leafy pattern for the loop itself. There we go. Little tiny loop. Oh, no. I got to re-smash that. It didn't get centered. That's better. So when I did that, I didn't center. It was way off to the side. Lock that in. I'm going to pull this little nub off. Yeah, that actually looks kind of cool. So I put a little leaf on the back end of it from the front. So the bail itself is a little leaf. It's in black. I don't know how many black leaves there are out there in the world, but there. Now you can see that. And then from the back end, you can kind of see that little pattern right there. So yeah, it's got a little leaf bail and on a leaf. It's like a funky little thing. Looks like a cactus leaf, could be. I always tell people when you get my glass art, you can call it whatever you want. When you own it, you call it what you want. If you want to call it a cactus leaf, you can. But there we go. I just have to show the back end. But yeah, there it is. It's just kind of cool. And this one is uranium, so it will glow like crazy. Okay, so that's the end of me actually glass blowing. If you guys have any questions, now's the time. I'm happy to answer any questions with glass blowing if you have any. I always take a few minutes to answer questions because I've been streaming and I haven't had a chance to catch everybody's questions. So if I missed a question and you have something that you want to ask as far as glass is concerned, feel free. Let's see. You're a black leaf? That's actually pretty funny. I like that. That's actually funny. Thank you for making my night. I like jokes. I'm very much into people. I like dad jokes a lot. I know I'm goofy, but dad jokes are funny as hell to me. But yeah, if you have questions, go ahead and fire away. Sometimes there's a delay, so I'll wait a few minutes and see if we get anybody asking questions. But yeah, I love dad jokes. That's like my happy place. How did you become so cool? I'm not that cool. I'm not that cool. I'm just a guy that melts glass. What's that? Have you decided what to make with my glass? I think so, Chris. I'll email you. I think I have a really good idea for you. How do you get started? You're interested in this. Okay, so there's two methods to get started. One is you go into, buy all your equipment, take a class, and decide whether you like it. The equipment's about $2,500 to $3,000 to get started. Now, my recommendation is that you have a glass. I guarantee you there's a glass blower somewhere around your area, within 100 miles. You ask them if you could sit down for 2 hours and do what I call a glass blowing experience, where you go in and they just show you how to make a mushroom or a pendant or something like that. Because a lot of people don't know that they're afraid of fire until their hands are, inches away from 4,000 degrees. So before you spend any money on equipment, I recommend doing a glass experience. They'll probably charge you a couple $100. It's normal. But I would rather spend a couple $100 figuring out if I liked being around the flame and if I like melting glass. If you've never experienced it, it's a different feeling. Spend a couple $100, decide whether you like it, and then if you do, then you start buying your equipment and you start with either solid work or blown glass work. I wouldn't recommend trying to do both. Let's say you start making solid glass and you decide that isn't for you and you want to go to blown glass. You can switch early on. Eventually you'll learn both versions of it, but you want to practice and master one version and then you can go into the second version with that. But if you have any questions, I do have a consult. I could probably save you a couple $100 minimum and probably thousands of dollars from buying the wrong equipment, because every supplier for equipment is honest. Okay, they're not crooks, but they're going to try and sell you things you don't need right away. And they put together these kits, and that kit may contain a tool that you're not going to use for 2 years. So I would not buy a kit. That's what I design on my consults. I will steer you away from the stuff you don't need right away, and I will definitely focus on the things you do. Because you don't need every tool in the beginning. You absolutely don't need every single freaking tool. But they're there to make money, and they're going to try and sell you it. Same thing with glasses. Like my glasses are the Meta Ray-Bans, and I had them custom fit with lenses. I would not buy custom glasses right off the bat. buy the least expensive frames, the big, goofy-looking frames, and see if you like it. Don't overspend on anything in the beginning. Can you make a tiger lily? I did. No, I can make a tiger lily for sure. Yeah, boro and soft glass are two different animals. If you want to do, boro's the most forgiving to learn with, but it's the hardest to master. So borosilicate is commonly referred to as Pyrex. Pyrex is a brand, not a type of glass. The type of glass is called borosilicate. It's the most forgiving, and it will allow you to make mistakes and fix them. Soft glass is your normal drinking glass or stained glass. A lot of stained glass is considered soft glass. Bullseye is one manufacturer of it. Yeah, you have to decide which route you want to go. Yeah, definitely a tricky deal there. Oh, I got you, wifey. Yeah, no worries. I kind of understand. I read, so I am highly dyslexic. Okay, I am very proud of that. I am very, very dyslexic. So if I read your chat wrong, I apologize. And sometimes when I'm speaking, I will say things backwards. That's the problem with dyslexia. I'm definitely capable of saying things wrong. Have you ever made a glowing creature project? Yeah, that's actually coming up. This year we're doing a lot of glow in the dark. Christmas time, for Christmas ornaments this year, we're doing a lot of glow in the dark. We're definitely doing a lot of glow in the dark. Do I teach folks privately in a classroom? I do not. I have places that I'll recommend for teaching. The only way I teach is if you come into my studio and you learn here, and that would be about a day or two. But most of the time I can watch you on video and correct you over video and tell you, like if you're streaming a camera from your phone, whether it's FaceTime or whatever, I can watch you and kind of tell you what's going wrong. And as long as you have your speaker on and you're listening or headset, I can correct you over video. And if I can't, I won't charge you. If I can't fix it, I'm not going to charge you. If I can't fix the problem over video, I would not charge you. Because, you didn't get the result you paid for. It does look like a lightsaber, right? So the funny thing on YouTube is there's a guy named the Hacksmith, and he actually took this brand of torch and made a full lightsaber out of it. I mean, a real lightsaber. And it is the best video, one of my favorite videos of all time. It's called the Hacksmith. And he made these little mini lightsabers. This is what I light my torch with every day now. These are little butane lighters, but they are just amazing little butane lighter, but it's a little mini lightsaber. I love these guys. But yeah, he actually took this brand of torch and made a full-blown lightsaber. It's insane. It's actually very, very scary how much it can cut. Yeah, I can do Zoom for sure. Yeah, whatever platform you want to do on, I can do that. But if I can't fix what you're looking for over video, I'm not going to charge you. I'm not that way. My reputation's worth more than charging someone for something that didn't happen. I wouldn't risk my reputation over that. Not a bit. It's not worth it. I've been in this business 32 years. I learned from my mother, who started when I was 2. Long history there. So, yeah. Sword project. It's in the works. I think the sword project I'm shooting for probably October is going to be. That's about the start of the Christmas season starting to happen. So just before Christmas ornament season, I'm going to do the sword project to kind of kick it off, even though a sword's not a a Christmas ornament. But yeah, I think the sword project's going to be October. And then from there, we'll kick into the Christmas season. Because October, I have to be jamming on Christmas ornaments. I can't keep up. By the time December 1st is happening, I have just about exhausted my entire inventory of Christmas. And then I'm just playing catch up with orders. And about December 5th, I cut orders off. I just can't keep up. Yeah, about December 5th, I have to stop taking orders. I'll still live stream, but I can't do any more orders because I just can't keep up. The orders are stacked. That's the busy, busy, busy time. Yeah, Christmas is your big money maker. And then January dies. You know, January comes around, and after New Year's, it's dead until Valentine's Day, and you kick in with flowers. So these are great little Valentine's Day projects, you know, little flowers. This one is silver based with cobalt. It's like a beautiful coloring to it. I call it jewel tone, but that is pure silver added onto cobalt. You can see the back end is all cobalt. If I shine a light through it, you can see the cobalt bouncing there. But when you add silver and you vaporize pure silver on it, you get these really cool jewel tones running through. But yeah, from January till getting close to Valentine's, then Mother's Day is busy. And then tax season comes and you absolutely are dead in the water. I know, John, I'm waiting. The sword is a big project. The sword is a massive, massive project. I'm just telling you, it will take, it'll drain me for the day. 2 days worth, it'll completely drain me. 100%. I'll be dead in the water for a while. Yeah, the sword project's a massive undertaking because it's very scary. You get the whole thing built up, and then the final assembly, if it breaks, you're done. There's no fixing it. If the sword breaks in the process, it's done. There's no fixing that one. Oh, thank you. Yeah, we're doing good. Yeah, thank you for that. Things are going good. Yeah, we're having a good time. Can we do glowing dolphins? For sure. We can absolutely do glowing. I have glowing dolphins somewhere around here. Where did I put them? I don't know. I gotta find my dolphins. I have dolphins aglow, for sure. And we're probably going to do jellyfish ornaments. Let's see if I can bring this over. So this is the jellyfish. I'm going to make a small version of this guy. Let me get this. So I'm going to make a small version of this for Christmas with the ornaments. And there it is with full light, and there it is black light. So we have full glowing jellyfish ornaments. And then we got the top like that. So we're going to do small versions of this. That's coming out this year for Christmas, the jellyfish. I love these guys. They are so freaking cool. But we are definitely implementing jellyfish ornaments this year. Let's see. No, I can't reach it right now. I don't know, John. I got to sell my oxygen generator before I can get a lathe. I don't have room for a lathe. I absolutely have to sell my oxygen generator before I can get a lathe. I'm out of room in here. I don't have it. And the lathe requires quite a bit of room. So, yeah. I want to hurry up and get one. Once I get a lathe, I won't need anybody to make the wine goblet cups or anything for me. I can do it all myself. And that's why I want one. So I can control the cup size and everything that happens with the wine glasses. So like this right here, I have to purchase from a friend of mine. He makes it on a lathe, and he does it for me. And I can't do that by hand as perfect as he does on a lathe. I can make them by hand, but that's just a perfect goblet cup, wine glass cup. And once you have a lathe, you can do this really, really consistently. But I don't have a lathe, so I don't like making cups because I can't keep the size exactly. And that's the part that's really bad. Yeah, I wish I could. Ever had a Make-A-Wish? Yeah, actually I did do Make-A-Wish. I used to have a store in Florida with my ex-wife, and we had Princess for the Day for Make-A-Wish. And so they would come in and I would outfit them. They could pick out any pendant they wanted, necklace, everything, earrings, all blown glass. And that was one of the coolest events I ever had. And then Sharon Stone has a say yes to the dress type of charity. It's actually a really cool charity where a lot of, I hate to say it this way, but a lot of rich people donate these super expensive dresses to kids for like proms or something. I've seen, $10,000 dresses get donated. And she came in and we helped when they got their dresses. We matched glass with the dresses. So that was really cool. But she has a really good charity for that. I can't remember the name of her charity. But yeah, a lot of super uber rich people donate their extra clothes to this charity. And then people can get the dresses for their proms, or let's say they just graduated high school and they're going to college, or they graduate college and they need nice clothing for interviews. Her charity donates those clothes to people that don't have enough money to proceed with that. And it's a really cool charity. She's a super, super nice person. Very, very nice. So, all right, I think I'm going to call it a night, and we will be on tomorrow. Tomorrow, I think we're doing the sawtooth shark tomorrow. So tomorrow we're doing the sawtooth. The sawtooth shark has that big long nose with the serrated edge. I've never done one. So this will be a first for me tomorrow when we do the sawtooth shark. I've never made one, so I'm kind of excited to actually do it. It's going to be freaking cool. So I'm going to log off, and I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you for hanging with me. Moderators, again, thank you so much for sticking with me. I appreciate you mods more than you possibly know. So thank you, and you all have a good night.